Now comes the main event. Okay, you guys have been asking me during this whole damn stream the same question over and over again. Here it comes. The question comes to us from Jay DeQuinto. Tell us about your dating app book again that is on Amazon. Like, how are you able to get second and third dates with Cartoon Wife? We want details. So again, I'm glad Cartoon Wife is watching because I'm going to share details on my ebook. Again, if you go to Amazon.com to the Kindle section, you type in 1,000 women in 30 days. I'm not joking. It's there. Okay, the cover is pink. And it has my name on there. For real, for real. So when I first moved to Arizona, I should preface it. Before I moved to Arizona, I started going on match.com and I started experimenting. And I started saying, hey, I'm going to be moving to the valley. Would you like to show me around? And I did my best. And I got ungats, crickets, nothing. Nothing at all. No bites. So I moved here, and then I had more time on my hands because I wasn't working. So then I really decided to treat it like a business, okay? I have somewhat of a business background. I owned a business with my ex-wife, and I don't say this to brag, but we were talked about on MSNBC's On the Money, that TV show. And we had big clients, really big clients. I don't want to name drop. We had some pretty big clients, okay? And so at any rate, I had a business mindset, and I was like, all right, how do I apply this business mindset marketing to dating? So I figured like this. Your online profile is your resume, right? So I took the time to wordsmith it. I hired someone on Fiverr. Was it Fiverr or a different site? Anyway, I hired someone who did sales copy to tweak my resume, my online profile on match.com. And then I took it even further, okay? I was very careful to make sure my criteria of what I was looking for was on point. You know, questions like, am I okay with it if they have kids? Am I okay with it if they're younger than a certain age? Questions like that. You know, if they're a smoker or non-smoker. My whole profile as to what I was looking for, I had to make sure it was spot on. Now, here's what I did that was different that you'll never hear anybody else talk about. Here's where the magic came. Okay, you guys ready? Are you ready to hear the magic formula here? Like I said, I treated it like a business. So I wrote a form letter, okay? A generic letter. And then I hired someone from India. Oh, yes, my friend, I will talk to women for you, no problem. So I hired someone in India to send out said form letter to 50 women per day that met that criteria. You know, the criteria that I wanted. Now, why did I choose the number 50? Because that was the max that Match would allow you to reach out to women individually per day. So he would send out, blast this email, this form letter to women that met my criteria, 50 of them a day. And so the book title would have been like 1,500 women per day. I didn't like how that sounded, so I made the title 1,000 women per day. So he blasted all these women with my form letter. And again, if they clicked on my profile, they read the sales copy. So it made me look really good. Now, I'm not going to tell you I found pictures and had them photoshopped. I didn't do that. My pictures were legit. But ultimately, I had 5 women that responded that I actually met with. I think it was 5. I'm pretty sure it was 5 women that I actually met with. And Cartoon Wife was one of those 5. So then I made it a game to myself. It was like this kind of like a dating game to see which one won the grand prize. Me, right? So I went off. There was one girl. It's been a long time, but there was one girl. She was a manager at the Apple store. We went out to eat once, and I liked her. And then I saw her the next day in the daytime. She looked very different. Okay. I know it makes me sound very shallow, but you have to be attracted to the person at some level. And it didn't click anymore, okay? And then there was another person. She had me write her a freaking book. She was an intellectual, and she had me write freaking books before we actually met. And we talked on the phone a couple of times. We finally met, and there was no chemistry whatsoever. None. And there was another one I met. She reminded me too much of my ex-wife. She was like a manager at CVS for like the pharma area, como se llama, where they give out the drugs at CVS. She had something to do with management with that. So anyway, she reminded me too much of my ex. And again, there was no real chemistry there. And she smoked. And, I wasn't really, we were friends. We were cool as friends, but nothing more. And then there was another one, which I can't even remember. I'm blurring a blank on the other one. But then there was Cartoon Wife, right? And, Cartoon Wife and I, we had our first date at Cheesecake Factory. She worked at the mall at Sephora in Arrowhead. And anyway, we met at the Cheesecake Factory. We talked for a really, really long time. She interrogated me. She asked me 1,000,001 questions. She wanted to know specifically why I was getting divorced. That was like the question she kept harping me on. And she kept asking me if I wanted kids. Like she had end game in mind right from the get. And so that was our first date. And then, I met up with her another time. I don't know what the second date was. I know at one point, it might have been the third date, I took her to Lucky Strike, which is this expensive ass bowling alley, and it cost a freaking fortune. And so we did that, and I brought her flowers, and she worked at night a lot, right? So she would get out really, really late, and so I would meet her at IHOP because there was a 24-hour IHOP near her house. So we did that a lot of times. I would just meet her after work because at the time I wasn't working, so it didn't really matter to me what time I went to bed. But yeah, that was my secret super evil plan, guys. Like I said, I hired someone to do sales copy, and that's what I used as my profile on Match. Okay, I wrote a form letter. I think I might have had the sales guy help me with that too. And then I hired another guy to go and send out the form letter, 50 women per day. And I did this all on the cheap. Cheap as I possibly could. And then, what was it worth it? Well, you tell me. Happy ending. So yeah, it was worth it. And some guys are gonna be like, I would never do that. Well, then keep doing what you're doing. What I did was unconventional. And in fact, I think that's the tagline of my actual book. Unconventional methods yield unconventional results. And that's not that book. Another book I wrote. The book on innovation, whatever the hell it's called. The official book of innovation. I look over there because I have a pile of my stuff over there. So, hold on. I'm going to put a card up while I go and grab that book so I can show you. So if you're interested in getting my masterclass, you knew I had to throw a plug in there. Go to movetheaz.weebly.com, guys. Okay, I'm coming back with the book. You knew I had to do a cheap plug. You knew that was coming. Come on now, guys. All right, so this is my paperback. I only have one paperback. It's real. And anyway, yeah. See, unconventional methods yield unconventional results. This is also on Amazon, as far as I know. It's still there. It's also available on barnesandnoble.com. Yada yada yada.